Waris effect.
Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, welcome. Thank you for coming along.
No problem, my friend.
Really good to see you again.
Lovely seeing you again.
Yeah. I think it's, just want to have a nice chat with you guys today and really give you an opportunity, I think, just to talk about what you've been doing, what it is you do in particular, because you do a lot of charitable work. I just want to understand basically, how you got it started, where you've come from, what you're doing now, all that kind of stuff. So,
all good in the hood.
Fantastic.
Have we got a week?
I've got a month.
You watch the ride.
Well, look, I'm really kind of interested in understanding, start off how you actually got it and how you actually started off doing a charity. Yeah.
Go for Mr. Suja.
If we start with the charity first, that's fine. So the way it started is, we've usually collected, as an Islamically thing, as Muslims anyway, charity is one of the pillars. And every year, around sort of Ramadan, whatever, you'd get people that are coming up, certain people from other towns, we need to raise for this, or we need to raise for that. So we'd run around and raise for them, not a problem, and hand it over. And then we're sort of sitting there, me and Waris one day, and I was just like, look, it's all fine and fantastic that we keep sending money abroad, we keep sending money here and there. But then, we look around where we're living.
How old are you?
This is going back, 6 years? About a year or so before the charity started. And you sort of think, and I was talking, it was like, I'd rather help Peterborough as well, our local city. So anyway, it's one of those things, and sometimes you get those appeals in the papers, such and such needs a transplant, or such and such needs this. And I said, you know what, it'd be nice if we just helped somebody.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. Literally about 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that, I was on a lesson, phone rings. Okay, and I just quickly answered it because I think it was a customer and said, look, this lady just answered and said, look, I'm ringing on behalf of my cousin. She's with me. Her mother is dying of cancer. And the family want one last holiday. We're trying to contact some businesses to help us out and see what they can donate. I said, look, I can't talk right now. I'll give you a call back later and I'll see what I can sort out. I forgot to call her. 2 days later, I'm sitting there and I'm like...
That's not like you should, yeah.
I know, I'm just thinking, yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking of this, I've got to do something. What is it? And I'm just like, I've got this lady. So I quickly run through my phone and sort of like got the number, rang her. And first she was shocked I rang back because she goes, everybody has blown us out. And she goes, look, the family's really disheartened because they've done a little family fete and they didn't raise much. And they're not holding their breath. I said, leave it with me. At that time, just like blitzed a text out to all the lads and said, look, this is what's happening. I need money. Within, I think, by the end of the day, I raised about £1,000.
Wow.
And I texted just a handful of brothers.
Okay.
Raised about £1,000, picked it up, and I rang her back and I said, look, can you meet me? I've got some money for you. So next day, met them in town, and I've walked, it's cold. So I've got a woolly on, I've got a long jacket, big jacket on, and I'm wearing all black as always. And they just see me walking through town, and I've got my beard a bit longer. And they just see me, and I say, hi, you're such and such, yeah, okay, I'm Shuja, we spoke on the phone. Yeah. And they just look in, I give them this envelope, I said, look, here's some money. And she looked at the envelope, opened it up, and they was in shock. They was like, how did you just raise this? I said, no, it's from the Muslim community. We just rang a few people, and they're, happy to help.
So they weren't Muslims, right?
Non-Muslims, no,
non-Muslims.
Yeah. And again, as Muslims, you have to state that, we don't, there's no sort of criteria that we have to help only Muslims.
Yeah.
It's humanity.
Yeah.
And I said, look, this is for today. I'll have some more money tomorrow because I thought the brothers are ringing me up. And she was just like in shock. So the next day I rang her up and I gave her another few £100. And then she rang me back. She said, look, my mum really wants to meet you. And, my mother passed away literally a few years prior, again, due to cancer. So I knew sort of what they're going through and that want of just spending that quality time. So I think maybe that's why it became a bit personal. And the next day, the mother met me, met her in a public place. And I could see, the stages she was at.
Right.
And she grabbed me, she hugged me, she gave me a kiss. She goes, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for my family. With tears are dripping in my eyes. I'm trying to be hard in it. So, nah. I said, look, it's all right. If you need anything else, all you got to do is ask. And went away. And about 5 weeks later, 4 to 5 weeks later, she passed away. And I stayed in contact with the daughter anyway, and just constantly just text her and that. And then I spoke to Waris. We sat down and I said, look, we've got to do this.
Yeah.
Because that feeling, one thing is giving money and you give charity and you've just given it.
Yeah.
So out of sight, out of mind. And the other thing is when you've given it and you've seen the recipient and you've seen that emotion, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
And so from there, I said to Wax, we got to do something. So me and my guys sat down. We said, there's two of us. We can't do it. We need 2-3 of our brothers.
Yeah.
So we sat down, and we said, right, let's get Saki, his older brother, because he's running K2. He's a businessman. He's, so he's head-wise a bit clued on. Plus we can use his office space.
Yeah.
And then we said, we need one more person. Then this dude weren't doing nothing. And obviously we were close anyway. So we were like, let's bring Atik along. Again, because he's a gift of the gab, blah, blah, blah. We all had our own little qualities. So we sat down, we got these two, we had a meeting, sat down, said, look, this is our idea. No questions, right, we're in, let's do it. So we sat there, and it was like December, just coming up towards Christmas time. And we've sat there, we've discussed it, and we're just like, now we're getting emotional. Yeah, we're doing this.
Right.
And we said, right, let's start it. We all had a tenner each. Put a tenner, put it in the middle, said, right, we're looking at 40 quid. What do we do with it?
So you started off with a tenner?
That's it, tenner each.
£40.
£40. We put it into a pot, £10 each. We said, look, the first donor is going to be us.
Yeah.
So we put £40 down for what do we do? And we're just thinking, now what do we do? Because like, how do you get this £40 to with my help? So again, and I think we'll say, okay, we want to help local. Right, there's homeless people.
Yeah.
It's winter. Right, let's go out. And again, straight away, we went to a few shops. Halfords at the time, because they were selling sleeping bags. Managed to blag a few free sleeping bags from them.
Okay.
Some other places got some quilts and blankets and just food and stuff. So we went down to the home, Bright Street car park, where sometimes like the soup kitchen comes, and as the soup kitchen comes, like the homeless people and the needy people come there, and ask for, and obviously get their food. So we've gone along. It's dark. We're in our cars. We've got these bags, and all we hear is the packies are here. And we just looked here for, that's not quite the reception we wanted, but you know what,
Okay.
so what?
Okay.
So
Who are you hearing that from?
From the homeless
From
people.
homeless
From the
people.
homeless
Can you imagine
because
there's four guys,
Yeah.
Suja's big, and I'm the only shortest one there. These guys are big guys.
and it's dark, and again we're all
So they've
dressed.
got
And,
all beards. So you imagine the media saying all kinds of stuff about Muslims at this time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're looking at it thinking, the baggies are here, run.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know which one of it was. We turned around and we said, look, this is make or break. So we said, oh, we're the good baggies, come back. And they were saying, nothing happened a minute. They just said the same word to educate them.
Right.
So once you've got them
Yes.
towards your side,
Yeah.
you can educate us. And then Suja explained it nicely. Then obviously Suja explained, look, that's a bad word. Then it comes to a time where the homeless wouldn't even budge until we never landed.
Right.
honestly, because what it is, first week, you got to remember these people are vulnerable.
Yeah.
They've been through so many things. They've been abused and all the rest of it. So for them to trust people, it's really hard.
Yeah.
So week one we've gone. Second week we're back again. Third week we're back again.
Right.
They're realising all of a sudden they come in. But the difference with us was we talked to them.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? You all right? You la 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 la. And especially with the teak the way he is, and then he'll talk, try the conversation. Well, Gar's the same and Saki the same.
Yeah.
And we're just talking, and so we've started building a relationship with some of them.
Yeah.
Some we helped, sort of like try to point them in direction of work. Others, if we can, like even accommodation. So whatever it was, we'll try to point them in direction, not physically take them, because again, there's a fine line, but point them in that direction that they needed to go. And and then we'd start listening to their stories, because a lot of them didn't talk to people.
Okay.
So we started listening to stories, and then you sort of think there that how lucky we are. Like one lad, again, his story was living with mum.
Yeah.
Mum passed away, got ill, passed away, living in a council house.
How old is he? This guy?
This guy was late teens.
Late teens.
Late teens,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Living with mum, she's passed away, house has now gone back. He's sofa surfing. He's gone to his sister's. They've had an argument. She's kicked him out. He's at one mate, second mate, third mate. How long does that go? And in the end, he's living outside.
Yeah.
And that's how easy it was.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? And we had another guy, and you get to know people as well. And then some of them passed away, whilst we were helping out. And honestly, we were cut up about it. So sad.
And you get emotional.
Because you get attached to people. You get to know them. You know their faces. You know their stories.
Yeah.
And when you find out, oh, where's such and such this week? Oh, I don't know. He's not here. Then second week passed. Oh, he passed away.
That must be tough, right?
Of course.
It's hard.
That must be tough.
Because you
yeah?
think to yourself, well, I could have helped him, or I could have done this, and I could have
Yeah,
done that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
again, it's one of those things, if they're ill and they've not, because they don't go to doctors, they don't go to hospitals, and they're ill, they just deal with it. Because a lot of them become addicts, in whether it be drink or drugs, to forget their problems, drown them out.
Yeah.
And because of that, even then, whatever health issues that they have, it's suppressed them down, and they try to forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get other people's where they've been beaten up, they've been urinated on, and they're telling you, I was sleeping last night, and these lads are on the night out, they came and they just peed on us.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking, what kind of monsters are you?
This shows you how evil the world can be.
Honestly, if you
Like a
drinks
bet.
down you and let's abuse a homeless person, or let's do this and let's do that. There was one guy, really timid man. Honestly, he used to walk around and he used to sleep in different places. Then he ended up sleeping in the park near my house, just on the bench. And he just keep himself to himself, chill out. He was really nice. He got beat up. Just one night got beat up bad, and because of that, he left town. He just went somewhere else, and we just lost contact with him. And we had this other guy. Do you remember that guy from where was he? Some African brother, and he'd come every week, dressed really nice. We're thinking, why is he coming? He's dressed in gongs. He's got iPhone. He's got earbuds in.
Homeless.
But he'd come and he'd take food.
Right.
So, and again, we're not going to question. We're not going to say, brother, you got food because you dress nice. But we just like, what's this story?
Yeah.
Then again, second, third, fourth week, then we started talking to him. And again, with him, it was just a business deal that got on really bad where he got done over by someone.
Wow.
Wife and kids left him. He lost his house because of it. Wife and kids left. And now he's sleeping in a little bed sit, but he's not got enough money for food because he's just trying to get back on his feet. And, initially he did.
Yeah.
And he came back one week and donated to us.
That's some stories, right?
Do you know what I mean?
You've got some stories, right?
But this is real stories. This is not something. This is something that we've seen, or we've actually experienced emotionally. When you hear about a homeless person dying, your family's saying, "What are you doing? What are you crying for?" So, man, because they don't understand. They don't understand that kind of relationship you have with them. We look at them as human beings. Forget the homeless. Forget the poor and needy. We look at them as a human being. What can we do to help you? People see we hug people, man. I'm a hugger, so we're hugging these homeless dudes, and they cry. They cry, thinking, "What are you gonna smell? Don't worry about that. Chill." And they become then they'll tell you things that they won't even tell the council. They won't even tell the people that they trust. They'll tell us, and we would have, Allah bless the team because we've been picked from different places. Just to make this clear. If it wasn't for the brothers to say, let's bring a team, it could have been anybody. But if that move wasn't made, I would not have the life I'm living today. So I'm forever in debt with the brothers. But they've never made me feel I've given them so much hassle, so much pain. But honestly, hand on heart, they've never let me down. They've literally looked after me better than my own family. And that's what you get from such a good environment, helping others. And then when it happens in your own home, meaning our team, they think, hang on a minute, me too.
Okay. So you said you've been doing about 7 years, right?
Yeah.
And you say that you get emotionally attached to the people that you help.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hard not to.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that on a? Because obviously, because you've been doing it for 7 years, right? It's escalated. Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
More and more people. How do you? Because there has to be an element of blocking that out, right?
That's exactly it. Look, we travel abroad. We travel all over the place. We've seen refugees come off boats. We've seen dead bodies. We've seen, graves which is just got limbs and torsos and of children in.
Where's the worst place that sticks in your mind? Where's the worst place?
I think on the borders of.
I think with the Tican, I think it was Turkish.
Yeah,
and Syrian borders.
Turkish. And Syrian
When was
borders.
this?
This is when the Syria crisis first
when
kicked
it
off.
first happened.
Okay.
And then me and Waris, the brother said, look, we made a meeting and said, look, do you want to go? At that time, I think the brothers had work, so me and Waris ended up going. Horrific is in the word, because this is the first time you've actually seen, you heard about it in the news.
Okay.
You heard about it in the media. But when you're actually out there, it's a complete color. It's a different world. People queuing up, fighting for bread, fighting for soup that we could not eat. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The guys bought me soup.
Yeah.
Looked at a car, said, brother, man, I can't eat this, man. So they went an hour away, come back with a little bit of powder, a little bit of flavor for me, because I'm spoiled. And they put this little thing on it to say, eat this now. I still couldn't eat it. Because brother, just eat it, will ya? Because you're so spoiled, because we get everything at home, but you're there eating it thinking, my God, what are we doing? And then we phoned back home saying, look, lads, we've got to do something. We've got to up the food, man. Suja goes, don't worry about it, but let's sort something out. What can you get?
Yeah.
Then he said, we can get it a little bit more expensive. Suja goes, don't worry.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we gave them different kinds of food. What we eat. Why shouldn't they have what we eating?
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's difficult because you can't resource it, you can't get it. But if we can get them the best of what we can at that time, we're going to go an extra mile to do it. For example, we were in Greece. It took us a couple of hours to go to one of the bases where the kids were, to go and meet them. I think Sujo's been there before, so he knew the kids, so he knows them while they were growing up and stuff. I'll never forget this. So we're on the wall, and there's a little orphan girl. You're sitting there with me. We're just talking, beautiful, just chatting away. And I go, "What do you want? What do you really want? Out of everything in the world, what do you want now?" She said, "I want a pizza." I started crying. I thought, out of all the things in the world, this girl wants pizza. I started crying. She's literally wiping my face. Sorry.
And this is why you smack him.
She's wiping my face. Honestly, I was crying. She's going, "Don't worry, pretend I never said it." Because she saw me upset. Sujo's overheard it. So he's here. He's overheard it. He looks at me. He goes, "It's done. Even if it takes us 6 hours, it's done. At least we're going to do it." Allah bless him. So we went out the other way back a few hours.
Right.
Got them how many pizzas? Remember?
Quite a few
Loads of
pizzas,
pizzas.
chips.
We
whatever.
drove all the way back. All we did, we sat back, we watched them. We watched them eat a pizza.
So we brought them in, we told the parents, so don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And but there's other families, put them on the table, set everything up. We'll call the kids now. Kids
Yeah.
come down, they was like shocked.
They were like, "Whoa." She
Where
looked
was
at
this,
me,
Greece?
This is in
Yeah.
Lesbos.
Island
of
Lesbos,
Lesbos,
Greece,
yeah.
And the kid just looked at me and went, like, "Just carry on eating." And they were eating and smiling. And
Yeah.
that is something that is what I call priceless.
Yeah.
All right, it was a mission.
Yeah.
But no, when you see that, we thought, you know what?
So,
wow.
so is that how you block out all those kind of things?
Yeah,
that
it's
are
good.
kind of
You got to think of the good and the negative. And the hardest thing is, you've gone somewhere where it's difficult. Okay,
Yeah.
you've come back. You've got to come back, and you get used to it because you've got to be realistic. You have to be quite hardened to do this job, and it's horrible to say. You have to be emotional. You have to be care and want love for humanity, but at the same time you have to have that blockage where by you stressing and worrying and thinking about it, it's not going to make it better for them.
yeah.
Where you got to take the right, okay, this is what we've seen, that's the negatives, right, the positives were this, right, let's focus on the positives, let's get back and let's make the situation better. But you can't make it better if you're there and you've dug yourself into a hole,
Yeah.
because now you've been chosen to make that situation better, and now your job is to come back and think, right, what do we need to do? You get your heads together, make this phone call, and we've got a fantastic team behind us now.
Yeah.
And you sit together and you think, right, this is what we need to be doing. Right, what do we need to do? Who do we need to contact? How much needs to be raised? Blah, blah, blah. And it just then this goes on. Right, do it. We're back out there, and we make sure we fulfil what we intended to do in the first place.
That's why it works. If it was me on my own, I do all the crying for the whole team. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, we just go, here he goes.
I cry honestly because
Yeah.
it works. He's strong. For Cast is absolutely amazing. He's the backbone of everything that we do. You got Saki. It works. If it was just left for me, oh mate, there won't be a charity. I would just cry all the time. Because if you emotionally get attached because of my father. Because I've got parents, I've got a mother. So when you look at these individuals, you're thinking, she looks like my mum. She looks like my girl. What can we do? But then again, we're not an ordinary charity because when we go out there, we're very actively involved. Sujo will box with them, will run with them. People who don't, Vakas don't even walk, forget about jog. Man playing football with the orphans. He's doing boxing with them. They're thinking, what kind of charity is
See what it
this?
is, we go places, let's say like, for example, Pakistan. And when people go places and they become they're dignitaries, they come there, they're suited and booted, and they're like, straight face, and we've helped you, like kiss my ass sort of thing. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
We're like, with all these people in Pakistan, and you've gone there, and if you've gone to somewhere like Pakistan or these countries, and you've come because you're raising money, people want to give you that, that bit of honour.
Yeah.
And they'll sit down, there's that big table, and they bring you food. We're like, sack the food, bro. Where's the kids? We want to play. And they just look at us, and us become like kids. Because that's what we are. I don't care how big you are, how old you are, we're kids inside, and we love it. And when they'll see us, I've got my drone out, I'm chasing this one, I'm chasing that one.
Yeah, I told about the
playing
drone.
footy, playing this, playing
He's on the
that.
drone flexing.
And we're just laughing and we're just playing. And you see all these guys And they're like this, standing there like this.
Yeah.
They go, where are these guys from? And we'll go back and they'll be like, uncle, uncle, uncle. And we'll go back and they're like, straight away, you know, their kids will recognise you, come over, hug. Can we do this again? Can we do that again? And that's the way we are. It's like even like, for example, let's go back to Lesbos. When the way it started was when the Syrian crisis first started. You had all the people, you know, leaving Syria and coming across Europe. So we sent Waris and Munir from Leicester, one of our project managers. And there was a convoy of vans going from a couple of other charities. Was right, we'll join you, we'll go.
Yeah.
So them two went, and as they were going, they were sending videos back of what's going on. And honestly, Kamal, there's one time, I think it was the border of Croatia. I think it was, top of my head, I might be wrong, but I think it was. And all they heard was, right, there's people that are going to come through now.
Okay.
So they've set up tables and put, you know, goods and whatever. And I kid you not, it's something like, you know, biblical times.
Right.
You know, you see like there's a flood, like a river, tsunami coming towards you.
Okay.
That's what it was of people. Just coming through fields. You can see from a distance, and it's getting closer. And it's just literally just gone through. And you're thinking, when is this ending? Thousands upon thousands of people. I don't know where they're walking. They don't know where they're walking, and you're thinking, this is now. This is like, you know, 2017 or whatever it was, or 2016. How is this even possible?
How's it happening?
And you're seeing it, and it's just like a river, just literally just going through. And it's like nothing you've seen before. And it's just like, okay, we need to get serious with this. And that's when, you know, the boats were still coming to Lesbos. Right, okay.
Right.
We're out there. And again, the thing with us was, right, we're going out there. What do we need to do? Right, everyone's just coming helping. What do we need to do? Right, let's get toys. So we just said, right, okay, we're doing a toy collection, soft toys. We've gone through suitcases through Heathrow. They go, what would you like to check in? And we've got bags and bags and suitcases of toys. We just got a couple of, you know, rucksack with a couple of our change of clothes.
Yeah.
Because we're not bothered. Toys. Soon as the boats are coming in, you know, kids are crying. Here's a cuddly toy. You're helping. What is it? And straight away you can see the parents, because the kids now, they're focused on this, and that trauma of what they've just been through is just gone for a second.
Right.
They're forgetting about it because they're focused on something else. We've gone into the camps, and again, same thing.
Yeah.
We've got toys, we've got this. Okay, where's the local supermarket? Get all the sweets you can buy. We'll just buy them and go there. Right, here, kids, lollipops, sweets. And that's what makes us different.
Yeah.
You know, we don't go in there like, you know, praise us because we've helped you. Do you know what I mean? Look at us because we've helped you. Nah, we ain't about that.
So do you think, right, that what you see with your own eyes is different to what is kind of portrayed here in, say, like the media?
Oh, completely.
Oh, yeah.
In what way? In what
100%.
way?
In every
See,
way.
look,
When you say every way, what do you mean?
so look, in regards to what we see on the media and the news and whatever, you see at the beginning, it's like, you know, that shock factor. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you see people helping, charities. Oh, we'll donate. Then it just starts slowly becoming the norm, because now it's just ingrained. It starts becoming the norm. And you're thinking, okay, but I've done my bit. I've given 50 quid.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then the media then slightly starts to sort of filter it down a bit. But they don't show you the actual suffering. Because what it is, they don't show you the people, the emotions, the stories.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? When you sat there and you sat there and you just heard from you know, a mother that her kids have just been killed, or, you know, she's lost her, you know, her only son drowned in the water, or one mother who told us, we said, why are you leaving? Why did you come across this water? You can't swim. Her words: death is better than what we've left behind. Sorry, well, death is better than what we left behind. Who says that?
Ponder on that. Just that statement what Suja just said.
Yeah.
People need to just ponder on what she just said. That statement itself will, if you've really got a heart, that will make you lose sleep for weeks.
And we always say to people, never, because we've seen it. We've given zakat to people.
Yeah.
And zakat, for people that don't know, is, you know, in the Muslim, the 5 pillars of Islam, is one of the things when you give charity. It's like if you over a certain amount that you've got saved, you've got, you know, accumulated wealth. You know, you give 2.5 that percentage to the poor, which is their right. It's not yours, that's their right to have. And you've spoken to people that said, last year I was giving zakat, I was giving the charity, today I'm accepting it. And when you hear that, you're thinking, rah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard to hear, man, because you're thinking, last year, brother, I was giving zakat.
Yeah.
This year I'm on the receiving end. And it's just like, and people think, you know, these people, for example, I like to keep going about people from Syria, but they're not people that just wanted to leave Syria. These people had, jobs, houses, education. They had, careers and businesses. And every single person that we asked, what do you want to do? They said, well, I want to go home.
And nobody wants to leave. You wouldn't want to leave your home.
No, of course not.
You wouldn't want to leave your loved ones. And these people, and also the media doesn't tell you this, that the decision is made like this.
Overnight.
Like in minutes. You're walking. Soon there's a transport that's come in parts of the world.
Okay.
There's a mother with 4 kids. The guy goes, right, we got to move for 2 of you. Leave 2 of your kids behind. You imagine the dilemma that this woman is in. She can't even say no. Because she's got a choice now to save one of her child, 2 of her kids. The 2 of them, she just has to leave them. Who do you pick? And that decision is made like this. When she was walking, she didn't have realised she's going to lose her kids. This is happening right now. Right now. We've seen it, we've heard it. We've sat with the people who have lost their kids. They don't know where their children are. And this is when you come home and you think to yourself, when your kids are saying, I don't want this, it's not their fault, but you're thinking, you ain't got a clue how lucky you are. And how blessed you are. Imagine 2 of my kids have to make a choice. You can't.
It's like, imagine, like I always like to say to people, like when we go to schools and we talk about, this. So imagine, like, for example, you're here now in Peterborough, and all of a sudden, like, for example, Newcastle, a war started. Actually, Newcastle is far away. It's okay, they're sorting out. But now it's come down to Middlesbrough. Now it's come down to sort of whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's got to Grimsby. And you're thinking, okay, it's time to worry a little bit. But you know what? We're still okay. We're in Peterborough.
Yeah.
Now you can start hearing, the explosions from a real distance. You're thinking, okay, but I think we're still okay. Then every night, those explosions and gunfires get closer and closer. And now you're hearing, it's just on the outskirts. People are getting raped and killed. What do I need to do? What do you do? And then you got to realise, you know what, we got to leave. And people say, but they've got mobile phones, it can't be that bad. Because that's the only lifeline.
Yeah.
You know what? It pisses me off when people say that. That's the only lifeline.
Yeah.
Nowadays we live in a society where that one phone
is everything.
Is literally everything. Imagine when you're at home and you lost your phone, people go in panic mode.
Yeah.
My contacts, my banking, my this, my that, everything's on my phone. That's why the one thing they carry is their phone. Because that's the only contact they have to the outside world.
And that could be given to them. That could be given them as a gift for someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We see people in a queue. For us, anybody that queues in a place where they're saying, give us food, it takes a lot of courage to do that, bruv. It's only £1 chicken and chips or it's rice. It's not like we're giving them gold.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of food, but to stand in that queue amongst all the people, it's a big thing, man. We never say no. If we run out, we're going to get more. We started this. The soup kitchen only gave soup and tea. We gave biryani. We gave kebabs. We put the whole Taj Mahal to the homeless people. Do you understand?
You put the Asian flex on it.
We put the Asian, but they are so happy and they're so grateful. And we've never had problems with them. Do you understand? This is what we're recognized in all 4 corners of the world.
Yeah.
That's why we've been blessed to go to schools. I was blessed to have a teacher who kind of saw a little bit of goodness in me. Because you got to imagine, man, these are real teachers. A teacher's job from school isn't, they teach you and after school, they don't care, man. They've done their job, they got paid, they don't care what you do. But Mr. Wilson, big up to him, my PE teacher, man, and he pulled me to a side once and he goes, all this thing that you want to do, go to unis and you're like, mate, ain't going to happen. Basically, you said you're thick. Yeah? Basically, you said, when you're thick, yeah, you ain't going to be able to do none of this. So he took me, this is the first time he took me to the drama studio.
How old are you?
In school.
How old are you?
I'm 14 now, yeah?
14, right?
So Mans took me to, introduced me to Ben Merritt. You remember Ben Merritt?
Ben Merritt was my head teacher, man, for 6 years.
He introduced me to Ben Merritt, and I think they've had a conversation about me anyway.
Okay.
So they stood there and they go, we're going to introduce you to that stage and we're going to introduce you to your voice. I can still remember it. I think, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
He goes, this is you. You ain't becoming a doctor. You ain't becoming none of that. So they pushed me towards a drama, like use my voice, use my talent, use whatever you got.
Okay.
That's what took me to university. That's when I started doing my thing.
Right.
And that's what I've used them kind of little bits I've learned and I brought it into today. Because, this is what the qualities I had. So I'm using that same quality.
Yeah.
But this is the same teacher who said, you know what, Teak? Saw through school. His wife's the headmistress there. I'm running the school. he saw us in the newspaper. So we were in the newspaper, Evening Telegraph, and he saw us and he thought, oh my God. I said, hey, man, what's going on?
Fantastic.
So he said, come to Sawtry School
Yeah.
and give a talk. I went, are you sure? Because at that moment, all of this whole thing was on about terrorism, this, that. It was the whole thing was on about pure what Muslims look like, this and never. So you imagine 4 of us turning up to a school, all white school. We turned up there, students thought, looking like thinking, what going on here, man? They're thinking, who are these terrorists coming to our school? Because they've not seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And these guys are big guys. I looked like one of the students, man. I was just like mixing in with them. But once we spoke to them, soon as I started interacting with some of the kids, they were like, wow. They used to raise the money by just skipping in their lunch hour, just to give us money.
Wow.
I told you about them, just so we come back.
How long ago was this?
We do it all the time.
They come to us about every year now.
So
Every year.
when was the first time you went there?
I think it was the second, third year when we were in the
charity.
charity, yeah.
Yeah.
So we started doing schools. So from there we went to King's. From King's we went to John Fisher. So the whole vibe was saying, who are these guys? Who are they? So the whole noise was about children of Adam.
Yeah.
And don't forget, some of this stuff wasn't posted on social media because they were kids.
Right.
So it was word of mouth.
Yeah.
They're thinking, hang on a minute. So even that is so good because they never used social media. It was all word of mouth. Teachers spoke to a teacher, students spoke to teachers, thinking, yo, who are these? Who's children of Adam? What are they on about? 4 Asian dudes. What? And suddenly it just went, you had a school fasting.
Yeah.
You had a school fast, so you're doing a project.
You're right.
And he goes, look, why don't you fast? Give them an idea. They go, all right, you had a whole 6th form fasting.
And stayed the night. Stayed the night in
How's
school.
the race, John?
I
Really?
can't remember what it was.
There is quite a big money.
And it's become a yearly thing for them now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So it was into the 3rd year of them doing it now, where they fast, they stay the night. I thought you lot guys are lucky, man. I wish we could have done it when we was at school. And a couple of teachers stay with them.
Yeah.
They stay the night, and then they break the fast the next day to get. It's just amazing.
Amazing where you started from. Look, you've just recently, just the other day, you had 40 odd lads. Were they 40?
39.
39 lads. They rode their bike from Peterborough to Skegness. They raised over £20,000.
Wow.
It's mad. And under what umbrella? Under Children of Adam. Why? They could have chosen any charity in Peterborough or anywhere else. No. Because they feel the vibe. The vibe of Children of Adam is what? Welcome, Bismillah. Come along, man. Children of Adam is all of us.
So look, we grew up around Peterborough, right? All 3 of us, yeah? And we've experienced racism throughout our lives.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? A lot of racism throughout our lives, right? And times have changed in big ways, massively. However, has the racism element changed? Because, did you find that you were getting blockages in any way, shape or form through your charitable work? Or was it a fact that as soon as you turned up and through your personalities, like you've been saying, that's when the walls came down?
Look, just want to say something. Me personally, I've never ever come across racism myself.
You've never experienced racism
I've
in
been
your
called
life?
a packy play maybe twice.
Wow.
I've
Well, that's
never,
racism though, right?
Yeah, but come on, it's nothing. It's not major. What people go through.
Yeah.
As a
Of
mad
course,
thing.
yeah, of course,
But
of course.
the feeling is like when you're on a flight.
Yeah.
You can see on people's face thinking, don't sit next to me, don't sit next to me, please don't sit next to me, don't sit next to me. But when you sat next to them, within 10 minutes of you talking to them, they want your phone number, your email. You say, piss off, man, I know what you're thinking. But it's not their fault. Let's get this clear. It's not their fault. Because what they see in the media is the image that the media is portraying about what Muslims really are about, but they're not. Once you start speaking to them and they're laughing, we've been in situations on a flight where people are holding their stomach and they're laughing and laughing and laughing. They're thinking, are you like Muslims? We're thinking, why? Because this is the real us. This is what deen is all about.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we make mates all over the place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it works. But I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed with a good child. Alhamdulillah for my parents. I've not really seen any kind of racism. I know you lot have.
What about you?
I know he
What do you
has.
reckon?
Where do you start, bro?
Yeah, where do you
I've been
start?
hearing all the
Absolutely.
stories.
Where let's start? Where do we start?
Absolutely.
Oh my
Do you
God.
think it's changed? Do you think it's
I
changed?
tell you what, I see it like this: 70s and 80s, because
Yeah.
we were 70s, 80s kids. Both of us were. You were about 2-3 years older than me. How old are you now? You're about 50, innit?
Yeah, I'm 50.
Yeah, because my whole thing was growing up was why is Come My Head Boy and you're not? Mum, he's older than me. And he's in the 4th year at St. Mark's School. That's when they pick him. But why aren't you?
Yeah.
But I'm younger than him. Asian parents, man, they're like, if he's doing it, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
So, because you've got a lot of beats because of you, bro. I owe you. So, yeah. So, again, growing up, 70s and 80s, I used to see it as like that period where, you saw a guy with a bald head, bro. You crossed the road or you hid until they walked past with a bomber jacket.
Because they're skinheads.
Yeah. And I'm not talking shaved like us, like slick and shiny. I'm talking just grade 2, grade 1.
Yeah.
So we had that thing, that the whole Doc Martens and bomber jackets and that, where the skinhead was just hijacked by the National Front, the whole look.
Yeah.
And the 90s, I see it was pie. 90s was just pure partying.
Right.
Everybody's high on ecstasy and flipping this, that, and acid house and raving, and everyone started fighting. They were hugging.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And then sort of 2001 came.
Yeah.
And it just went tits up again. And sort of like you think,
what do you think triggered it?
9/11, isn't it? Obviously.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There was that silliness. And again, now they're thinking, okay, all these guys with beards. And then you could see the racist thing behind it, or the racists, the way they were. And I say this, and I use this example. When back in the days when the blacks, the Asians, the Italians, anybody from abroad, we stuck together.
Yeah.
Because we stuck together, the racists couldn't beat you. And that's why they took the back seat a little bit. And as soon as 2011 happened, 2001 happened, then all of a sudden it's like, right, okay, we've seen a little way here, we can get in. Let's start, everything's not, Muslims, these Muslims. Why are they different? And all of a sudden you were made to feel like you were different.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, maybe we are, maybe we're not, what's going on? Then the people that and if you look in the last sort of, 16, 17 years, or since 2001, sorry, the whole media, the whole rhetoric has been, Muslim. You get a guy that's had a fight, they'll use his religion to describe him. You think, well, that's got nothing to do with it. Yeah. The guy's an idiot. He just had a fight, he's protected his, house or whatever.
Yeah.
Why is his religion being brought into it? And you can see what they were doing. And, people that even like I grew up with, you could start seeing the way they used to speak. Yeah, this Muslim guy. I'm thinking, but you've never described anybody by their religion before in our life growing up. Why are you doing it now? And then they sort of think, well, hold on a second. Yeah, I've done that without even thinking about it. So, then there's this shift where all of a sudden, the Muslims, who are sort of basically the Pakis, because people don't realise actually these Muslims come from all over the world, different colours, different nationalities. But what it was, because in the UK, the majority are Pakistani, all of a sudden that was a good way to just, to demonise the Pakistani community, but just, push them aside as Muslims. And all of a sudden now, you've got, you've got the blacks, you've got other people, you've got, people from the Sikh community, the Hindu community, these Muslims. And all of a sudden you're thinking, right, hold on a second, let's take a step back, what's going on here? And then people now, since this last couple of years, all of a sudden, and especially this Black Lives Matter movement. Yeah. And
how do you think that's affected things then, Black Lives Matter?
Because now the racists that have come out, rather before is Muslims only, have now started in the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay. So the people that were thinking, these guys are our friends, and we're together, all of a sudden, no, hold on a second, we can Black Lives Matter. Do you understand? So now that's put them where they should be, back where they were, where they're hating everybody.
Okay.
So now, the people, Muslims or Pakistanis, whatever, and now you're thinking, hold on a second, now we know we're together again. And I've seen that as a positive.
Okay.
Because now the ones that were racist, or the closet racists, or the ones that to your face, or the ones that sort of hiding behind the keyboards, now they're coming out and acting themselves. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Because they can't stand by a movement or by a thing that goes against their whole narrative.
Because you've given them a platform now.
Yeah.
So now they're just like, okay, no, we hate you all.
Yeah.
So it's going, and it feels like it's going back to how it was, where we all stuck together again.
Right.
So I've seen it as a positive.
Okay. So don't you think that people have that the element of that they should have their own opinion, be able to talk about their own opinion in that way?
Why not?
Of course.
So how do you deal with it?
That's their opinion, but everybody's entitled to their opinion until they cross that thing where it becomes offensive to you. Because you can't sit with somebody you can't just, we're giving a platform to people who are racist. So we're accepting it, saying, yeah, he's a racist, let's give him a platform. You wouldn't give a rapist a platform, would you? Oh, he's a rapist, let's accept it and give him a platform to speak about his own opinion. They've got opinions, but they can talk about their opinions. We don't have to accept that opinion.
No, of course not.
We don't have to accept that opinion.
Look, for example,
COVID has brought people together as a unity. Bam. When this Black Lives Matter thing happened, incident happened, everybody's just gone, okay, you're giving us a platform now, we can speak about what we want openly.
For example, I mean, look, in regards to, people, having opinions, yeah, it's great. We all have to have them. Yeah. Look, we're all different. Let's get that straight. I'm a Muslim, there's a Sikh, there's a Hindu, there's a Christian, there's a Jew. Doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
Of course.
We just have to accept that, okay, that's his belief. Definitely. That's his thing. Right, brilliant, fantastic. Live your life, do your thing. As long as you're a good human being, why should it bother me? Do you know what I mean?
That's very true. I mean, I was listening to a psychologist, very famous one called Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's of the opinion that if people have strong opinions, then the person on the other end is bound to be offended in some way at some point. Yeah. So you should be able to have that discourse between you. Yeah. You should be able to talk it out rather than try and put up any kind of barriers towards.
Yeah. Look, yeah. I have people like teach people drive or going through the boxing gym and through regular. And their views on Muslims is not great because they don't know any. But they get
ignorance,
but
right?
Yeah, and again, it's ignorant. There's the ignorant side of it, and there's the lack of education as well.
Yeah.
Not through their own fault because they've just not been exposed to anybody. So then they get to know me, and then they will talk, and they go, well, actually, we're more similar than what people make out. But I still don't believe in this. That's fine. That's not a problem. But now what the difference is, so we can accept that, you may not accept this, I may accept that. Doesn't mean we can't get on. We just get on with it. But, it's just where people just turn around, for example, like social media is given this thing where, people think just behind a keyboard they can say what they want. And it's just like, come on, you have to use your head. And this goes, across the board. I'm not talking, the racist. I'm talking everybody.
Yeah.
People just blaze something. It's like somebody says something. It's like, for example, you got somebody who doesn't know anything about Islam.
Yeah.
All right? And they'll type something. And all of a sudden, all these Muslims come along and they just start bashing them. Blah, 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 blah. And you're thinking, hold on a second. Instead of getting crazy on the guy, just step back, be civil, be nice and explain, no, it's not this. It's actually like this. But if you need to talk about it, just drop me a message.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it takes to change things around, rather than just blast someone.
Absolutely, yeah.
With basically from us, it's like, but somebody else is gobbledygook. Like, what's this guy going on about? This, that, this, that, this, that. Come on, it's not like that. Like, for example, let's go. If we're talking, like Islamically, look at the stories. Like, we follow the Prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him. His example. And what is one of the examples that when he used to walk, there used to be a lady who used to throw thorns at where he used to walk. So he'd cut his blessed feet. And the one day she didn't do that. He asked, where is she? She's not well. Went to visit her.
Come on. Wow. Come on,
This
man.
is the example, man. Wow. There's somebody that hates you and wants to injure you every single day. And the one day she's not there, where is she? Let me go see her. Why didn't she do it?
So look, in terms of absolutely, man, that's a very powerful example. Obviously, it is. How do you think our youth are being affected around this, right? Because as we've grown up, there's been possibly an identity crisis within Asians, stroke Muslims within our communities, right? Because you might mix with English, white, whatever you want to call them, blacks as well, right? So you kind of get this identity crisis. Where do you think our youth are now?
Yeah, but realistically, look, when we were growing up, look who we hung around with.
Yeah.
Everybody and anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Regardless of colour. All my mates going out were black.
Yeah.
I was at every hip hop gig going, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And running through crowds and, do you know what I mean? Well, not in your carnival.
But to be fair, Suja, you had a lot of black friends, but you only had a selection of people. You couldn't get black, white, Chinese, and that was it. Today, what the youth is facing, have a look. Polish, Lithuanian, Bulgarian, everything on the map. They have to face this in schools. I've got my own nephew, cousin.
Yeah.
His uncle, you keep telling me off. I've seen the birds at my class. You're like, what? He goes, what do you want me to do? And you go, honestly, because the distraction that the youth are facing, social media, we never had no social media, you know?
See, but the thing is, look, the difference
So
is this.
what's the state of them now? I mean,
Look,
are they split?
No.
Are they
The difference is coming
joined
out.
up as a community?
Look, this is how I see things. Yeah, when we were growing up, we were a smaller community.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of our parents knew exactly what we were doing, and if they didn't, somebody else's parents did. Right. And there's, I saw your son there, mate. Really class. Do you know what I mean? You got a slap.
Yeah.
But you know, our parents was like, "You're going to school, you're getting that education." They were on it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they come over, we're the first generation. And they want to make sure that we got the education, we got the jobs, we weren't working in factories or, hard labour like they were doing. And, you know, and those jobs were working night shifts and this. So they wanted us to be better than them. Right? And then through that, you had one element was saying, well, get an education because we're moving back to Pakistan. We've built our house there, we're doing this, we're doing that. And the whole threat was, because obviously Margaret Thatcher back in the days, we're going back.
Right.
So there was in the back of that mind.
Right.
Then they got to a point, no, we're not going back. We're staying here. And the ones that accepted that, they've moved on. They're like, right, okay, we're staying here, but let's get cracking.
Yeah.
And they've built businesses, they've done whatever. Now what's happened is, again, you know, the kids are facing different challenges, similar, but, you know, they all face their own challenges. But the problem is, you know, with society's moving, like you said, with social media and all the rest of it, most of us are on it, so we're quite savvy with it.
Yeah.
But a lot of parents aren't. And what happens is, it's like, you know, years ago when computers first came out, there was like computers sitting downstairs in the living room, your parents watch you when you was logging on or do whatever, so they can see it. Now one's got a mobile phone.
Yeah.
So people put parental lock on your laptop, but you're given a mobile phone at the same time. So you give them access to everything. And, you know, I feel now kids are sort of pushed to grow up a lot quicker to what we were. You know, you don't see many kids playing out any time anymore. It's just like in their rooms and you don't know what they're typing, what sites they're on, what they're being pitched towards. And you constantly see it now where young girls are exposing themselves, you know, just to keep that boyfriend or keep that guy happy by sending them nude pics and vice versa. So there's that side of things.
Okay.
And with our youth, for example, you know, we have to accept that, you know, Punjabi and Urdu, that's not their language no more. It's English. Even with myself, for example, English is my first language.
Yeah.
If you talk us to speak in Punjabi Urdu, my brother, this is a whole joke, isn't it? We just go all over the place.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we go to Pakistan, they go straight away, you open your mouth, you give Salaam alaikum, and they're like, oh, he's from England.
Yeah.
They know straight away.
Yeah.
So we have to accept that. And secondly, you know, when, you know, places of, you know, worship or places that are, you know, supposed to be teaching our kids, they need to grow up as well and change with those times. I'm not saying they change the belief system, but the way they teach, the way they interact with kids. So they can just chill with them at the same time and understand them. Like we got a brother Zaid who's a teacher, right? And you see Zaid, honestly, man, and the guy's loose. He's a loose cannon. But because he's a teacher and he's gone completely skits, the kids get on with him.
Yeah.
And he gets on with them and they understand, and now they vibe together.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. Like, for example, like even like I'm 47 and I know exactly what a 17-year-old's going through because, like, you know, the way we are, people who we interact with and the way we talk, we can just connect with everybody. We'll have kids coming from, you know, like from young kids to sort of like, you know, teens to early 20s, and they'll come to ask us advice. And you sort of sit them down and think, right, okay, yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, I get that. Okay, I've been through that. I've been through that.
Streetwise.
Because we've all been, trust me, we're not angels when we were growing up. We've all had our fair share of, you know, to-dos.
Well, let's talk about you.
Do you know what I mean? To-dos. But, you know, so you understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And we have to talk to them in a straight manner as well.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be sex, whether it be relationships, whether it be whatever.
Do you think there's any gang culture in Peterborough?
Big time.
There is.
There is.
Between who? What kind of gangs are we talking about here?
Drug dealing. There's bad drug
gangs,
dealing.
yeah.
Stupid amounts.
What, within certain ethnic communities or
Oh, just
It's all,
overall.
to be honest,
is it
it's-
areas?
It's, well, obviously it's a Millfield area, isn't it? And, well, you Millfields, Altons, Westwood, mostly sort of the deprived areas.
Right.
You know, whether it's like council housing or social housing, whatever, you really see there is a lot of drug dealing.
Yeah, but when you hear gang culture, right, you kind of picture, you know, gangs against each other. Yeah.
Right, with the gang culture, in all honesty, it's all petty, man. Oh, he lives in West Town, and let's kick his head in.
It's all this drama about top end, bottom
Bottom
end.
end, which in all honesty, when we were growing up, that was there as well. Bottom, top end,
You know,
bottom
that's
end.
always
But
going to
we
be
still
there.
got on.
Culture, this,
But-
red is getting together. There's always that kind of a thing going on.
Yeah.
But really and truly, if you look at Peterborough, we don't even have to tell you. Look in the papers, every every other few months. Raid, coppers, raid, drugs growing. People has become like a hub.
Well, this is it, right? I mean, I was reading something the other day about Peterborough. 2 years running is the worst place in England to live.
We've even beat. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot it.
2 years
Yeah,
running
but realistically,
has come up as number
But
one.
do you know what? With that, I don't believe that 1 second.
80,000 poll.
I
80,000.
I don't
look,
believe that. People
look,
can't be that bad.
Trust me, man. I went scared
It
the
can't
other
be
day.
that bad. Hey,
I was scared the other day, bro.
we were scared the other
Do you know
day,
what I mean?
honestly, and trust me, when we
No,
were
but
coming out,
realistically, yeah, we kissed the ground, bro. We're like,
we
yeah,
kissed the
Peterborough.
guys. Thank
But
you.
look,
no, but
Peterborough.
realistically,
when we
look.
grew up in Peterborough,
Yeah.
so true.
Go on.
When we grew up in Peterborough, right? I mean, I remember 1981. Yeah, I walked through Queensgate with a balloon holding my father, God rest his soul, his hand, right? With the
Yeah.
balloon,
yeah.
and it was the biggest, the biggest and most brand new shopping centre in the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think has, and look, it hasn't got this status for no reason. I understand what you're saying. You
Yeah.
know, you don't believe it, whatever. I mean, the stats are there. Okay, 80,000 poll is supposed to be the worst place in England to live. Of course, there are worse places within people's perceptions. It is all relative, right? But why? What do you think has caused it to go so much down?
Crime. I believe it's crime. I believe it's the drugs and the raids. Because it's such a common thing with the police raiding places and finding groves, finding these stabbings, murders.
32%. You know that 32% of crime in Peterborough
So
is violent crime.
that's kind of, if
32%.
you, I know it's a big major thing.
Yeah.
But if you look at Peterborough as a whole, as a charity perspective, I've never seen the most giving people on the planet.
Look, for example,
Do you
let's
understand? So you've got
yeah.
that
Look-
side to think
yeah,
about as well.
absolutely,
Come
absolutely.
on.
look at the demographics of people. Look how much has changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so first you had a lot of the Polish and the Italians coming in.
Yeah.
Then you had obviously the West Indians, the Pakistanis, everybody and Indians coming in. Okay, so it stayed like that for what 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you got the Lithuanians, the Polish, the Romanians, the Bulgarians, everyone else is coming in. So in the last sort of 10, 15 years, the population has grown. Just like we're talking people from outside, maybe 20,000, maybe more,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Right top of my head. Now, some people see it as a positive because, again, you got hardworking people that have got to work in the agricultural lands that supply Sainsbury's and your foods and your Waitroses, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
And the other side are thinking, oh, look at all these foreigners. And a lot of people don't like it because the foreigners are here. Like, come on, man.
That's a different type of racism, now, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But again, that's what it is. So, when you're talking people are not being a place to live, could it be because of that? Because all of a sudden now, people don't like it because there's different languages being spoken on Lincoln Road or whatever. How about instead of running away from there, interact with the same people? Look, you got on Lincoln Road, okay, you got, all these new cafes popped up. Everyone's just sitting out there, first thing they're having their coffees, they're chilling, they're laughing, they're whatever.
Yeah.
I've not to this day seen a massive fight on Lincoln Road. You'll see the odd little idiot doing something stupid,
Yeah.
and it's done. No different from a Saturday night in town. In fact, I've seen worse than Saturday nights in town. But all of a sudden, because they're speaking a different language, is a problem.
Yeah.
Come on.
Interaction, as Suja said, interaction is key, and we're witness to it. Whatever we're saying, we witnessed it. For example, Cumbria.
Okay.
We could sit here for hours just talk about the experiences me and Suja had in Cumbria. We were there. We worked alongside the firemen, TQT.
What took you to Cumbria?
Cumbria was the floods. So there's a massive floods happen.
Okay.
Suja, obviously, he's shit hot when it comes to news, and he's always saying, "Look, lads, it's very good."
Yeah.
Oh, this happened. Do you reckon we should go?
Okay.
So he'll always put it on the chat that we've got. I would say, "Oh, man," he go, "Look, man, have a look." Then he sent some links, this, that, and the other. So we say, "Okay, let's talk about it." We'll always discuss it.
Yeah.
So obviously, Suja's put it on there. We as family members said, "You know what? Suja's right. We need to go out there." So we had a little meeting, stuck a little WhatsApp out. It went mad. We had a Range Rover. It got flooded with stuff. So Suja goes, "Let's go in the snow."
Okay.
We've gone there. Cut the story short, we ended it in Cumbria, and honestly though, we met the most nicest people. Big up to Steve.
You told me about Steve the other day. Tell us about Steve. Tell us about
Steve used to be in charge of 4 fire stations,
Okay.
4 houses, where he's very, very intelligent, very hardworking. He's known in the fire world.
Okay.
He's been on news. He's done documentaries. He's like a chief.
He's a chief.
Suja, yeah,
He's a fire chief.
yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
he's an amazing guy.
Okay.
So when we met him, accidentally we met him. through roadblocks and stuff. But when we got to know this guy Steve, he gave us the same respect as any other fireman had. All the rules and regulations we had. We couldn't tackle fires, but we could do everything else. In the same trucks, same uniform, same everything. But this is the most amazing thing in Cumbria. So we're doing Cumbria, we're doing working, we're doing the whole thing, knocking on people's doors thing. We've gone to the shopping centre to go and buy munchies. As soon as I tell him.
Yeah, because basically, well, it was one of the place where we were based was a little community hall, and Christmas is coming up, and you know, again, we're just like, right, you know what? There's loads of kids here. We need stuff. Let's go get sweets. Because we like I said, we're like that. Went to Sainsbury's. It was like, where's all your boxes of chocolates and whatever tins? We just like got this trolley full of just tins. Like, what are you not doing?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, people are just like, oh right, yeah, you're the Muslims looking to help. We're like, yeah, really? Because some of the Muslims had been there before. We took the glory, innit? So we're like, yeah, of course we are. And then people want to take pictures with us, all the rest of it. Fine, mate, no problem with us. But, you know, again, we've got all this stuff and took it back to this village hall. And we still got to go back because we want to paint it for them.
We want to paint the church.
We want to paint it for them. And so we've gone back there. And again, it's just one of those things where we've delivered all this stuff and they're just shocked that, why have you bought all this? Well, why not? And there was another guy, there was a local guy, a guy who was helping everybody else. And again, his house was completely flooded. And we said, look, what do you need? He goes, look, I need a carpet before Christmas. Sorted. Yeah. So we came back. One of the brothers got a carpet place. Right, donate carpet. This is the measurements.
Okay.
Then a teak and a few of the lads went in a van, took it back, got it fitted for him that day. And then, what did you want? You want an Xbox? That's fine. We'll get you an Xbox as well for one of his kids, innit?
Yeah, from all of Peterborough to Cumbria to drop off carpet.
And get fitted.
Did an amazing job.
And so, just like a guy.
Because you made a relationship with the people out there. So there was an old lady sitting there, and Suja cocked her. Suja, they just go chat to her, innit? This was at the end of the day. I go, man, he was just going to chat to her. So I sat with her. So, you know, how you doing? So I had a wicked chat with her. Got on so well with her. Then at the end I said, so Suja's talking to her daughter. So I said, photo? She went, okay then. Daughter goes, you haven't even got a photo with my dad. You haven't got a photo with my dad. You don't like photos. He's so nice. A woman who's never took photographs in her life. I got a photograph on my phone. because it just shows you character as a Muslim. What you can do. Look at the same group of people.
Yeah.
Now we're doing the floods in Yorkshire. Suja was something happened. I think it was abroad, and the Yorkshire floods happened. So me, because it's like he had to go.
Okay.
So we've gone to the Yorkshire floods. So we've got to know Steve going wicked. All the lads are here. They're called.
So Steve was there as well.
Steve obviously runs the whole thing. So he
in Yorkshire as well.
He calls us.
Him, Saki, the Green Mile.
Okay.
So they all of these guys really well known. So gone there. We don't know who we're working with. This is a new squad. So we're in the back of the van with a guy called John. Sitting with him, so we're hugging him, taking selfies with this geezer, boom, 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 chilling with this guy. Not knowing he don't like Muslims. Not knowing this geezer don't like Muslims.
This is the guy that you're chilling with, taking photographs. Does not like Muslims.
We don't know this at this time, so we're just hugging him everywhere, yeah? In the same truck, so all the way through the day.
So hold on, was he willingly taking photographs with you?
He didn't have a choice. He got sat on this side.
Exactly, he didn't have a choice.
So we're like this. I did. So we're going to the petrol station. So what do you want to eat? He don't know, and he's counting his pennies. I go, what do you want to eat, man? So we bought him so much stuff, Snickers, this, that, and they were chilling with him. At the end of the day, he sat there and he was just looking at us. Everything went silent, and he went, do you know what? But I misheard. All I heard was, I hate Muslims. I went, oh, but your Snickers bar, man. What are you saying Muslims for? He goes, no, let me explain. He goes, I've been at war, I'm a soldier. I've war, I used to shoot Muslims. But let me tell you something. And he started crying. Man starts crying in front of about 40, 50 people all over. And he just let it all out. So he did a tweet. I got the tweet on my phone. And he just wrote on there how much that journey or interaction with Muslims has changed his whole thinking. He's come off all of the websites that he was on. And we gave him the honour because he's like a brother to us, man. We did the Mount Snowdon and he was in charge of the whole Mount Snowdon trip. He did the whole health and safety, the whole thing. He did that. We raised over 10 grand for the Amazon ward, Amazon ward. We did the whole room. We gave him the honour to do the opening. And you went to see him that day. He was like overwhelmed. And he says, boys, on my funeral, all of you have to come there and you have to do a talk at my funeral. We
Wow.
thought we're going to get battered. We ain't coming to that funeral. But look at the honor he's given us from shooting and what he thought about Muslims, and a Snickers bar chained him. Well worth the money, innit?
That's powerful.
Come on,
That's
dude.
powerful, yeah.
Always, any problem, on the phone. Even with Steve. Steve doesn't have to ring us. He comes to Peterborough just to chill. Come to the office, have some food, and he's just a laugh. Naughty, but he's a proper laugh.
Steve was at Grenfell with you, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Grenfell again.
Tell us-
Banging-
Grenfell.
Tell us the story about Grenfell.
Grenfell again, same thing. Wake up in the morning for work. It's about 6 o'clock, I think it was, and all of a sudden, just see the news of Grenfell Tower's on fire. Okay, let's look into this a little bit. And then I'm working, and about 7, 8 o'clock is still going on. I was like, right,
7, 8 in the morning.
7, 8 in the morning. I thought,
Yeah.
you know what, we're going. So I just put the text out again. Said, lads, we're going. I've cancelled all my work for the day.
Yeah.
We're going up there. So let's quickly again blitz that WhatsApp message. People come with blankets and money and blah 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 and all the rest of it. Anything that we needed. And we just rang Chris and Lucas up. 2 lads that do our filming and volunteer as well. Top lads, you know. Shout out to them boys. And we've driven up to London. Rang Steve. Steve, meet us at this underground station, mate. We'll be out there, whatever.
Steve again, yeah?
Steve again.
Yeah.
So Steve jumped in the front. Right, you go this way. You know, you know, like the way he is. He's like a foghorn, man. And he's all the way to the tower. He's like, right, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going on. This is going to happen. And he's literally just mapped it all out.
Okay.
So anyway, we've got there. We've parked up, and we just see chaos. Everywhere is just chaos. No one knows what they're doing. There's nobody in charge. No one knows what's going on.
What kind of time was this? Morning time?
This is now about 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, 11, 12
Yeah,
o'clock.
okay.
Mad,
Yeah.
it's mad. People fighting everything.
And you know the building's still in flames, and you can see, you know, as you're driving past, you got one sort of squad of firemen just literally battered, just sat there having their break while the next lot have gone to fight the fires and that. And you know, we've just landed there, and we're just right. Okay, let's leave all the stuff in the car. We just go do what we do, find out what we, you know, do the recon first, yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, your news is breaking out where someone's family members are missing, and people are crying, and you know, you see journalists trying to get in there, take photos, and people are kicking off, and we've jumped in there thinking, right, hold on a second. And he's like, whoa, you get over there, you get over there. We're thinking, we've got here, there's fights kicking off, what's going on? But again, just calming the situation.
Yeah.
Now we've all got our children Madden t-shirts on.
Yeah.
Nobody else has got any, you know, any sort of official sort of things going on where we've got our sort of, you know, our badges and whatever. Right, Steve, what do we do, mate? He goes, right, find me a megaphone. And that was it. You get over there, you do over that. And that was it. We just literally took over this place. And, you know, the community spirit that day was something unreal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you've been, you know, when you've gone to London, you've been in places like Notting Hill and that, you can see the divide.
Yeah.
You know, you've got literally poor this side and the rich this side.
That's right, yeah.
And they don't mix. You have people coming around and just giving food and doing this and helping out. And it's Ramadan as well, and we'd been fasting as well, and we were battered. But it's just like, you know, the food and hunger had gone, the thirst, we were just helping. And, you know, just the whole day, people that normally be fighting each other, just sticking together.
Right.
And, you know, people just coming up, we're from Peterborough, you come all the way from here to help, hugging you, and do you know what I mean? Just like, okay, what can we do? So we just, all of a sudden, we just took over, and we just like guiding people what to do and what not to do. And then, you know, the time for iftar came, you know, breaking the fast.
Yeah.
So you can see, because a lot of people there's a big Muslim population there as well, and obviously a lot of the volunteers were coming with Muslims. And so, right, okay, someone just managed to get a massive red roll of paper, and just from one street to the other, as far as the eye could see.
Yeah.
And everyone's just coming out of houses bringing out food. And literally, and Steve goes, right, he goes, how long before fasting, no breaks? Right, okay. Right, people, what I want you to do is this. In a minute, the fasting is going to break.
It was a movie.
And he goes, and he's going to give the call to prayer. So I want you all to shush. And then he did a countdown, didn't he?
He said 10, 9. As soon as he got to 1, I said, say Bismillah. He went, what? I said, say Bismillah. He went, 1, Bismillah. And he goes, yeah. And they all opened up fast together. It was a scene out of a movie. And then we stood back, me and Sujan were just eating. It's just a scene watching people eat. You got whites there, blacks there, people just eating.
Muslim, non-Muslim, just everyone just sitting together eating.
Thank you. I was like, enjoy it, eat. People picking from each other's plates, breaking bread, eating. That was something that God did in such a manner, and all the credit goes to Steve, because that man took the whole street over, bro. This is not a small thing.
Yeah.
Man goes, what are you doing? Put that down. Where are you going? What are you doing, man? Put it down. All right? He puts that. And and nobody knew. And then all you could hear was, Steve, can I? They're saying, can I come through here? Because no, you can't. You see, that way. It was like it controlled everything.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
And it was
Steve
all
is a
under children.
legend.
It was like just amazing to see that kind of a unity to get together. Do you know what I mean?
So that's very much an untold story, right? That's something you don't see. You don't see that kind of thing on the news.
Yeah,
Look, there was obviously a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot, sadness. There's, at the same time.
I mean, you must have seen
But it
TV crews and news crews must have been there.
Of course,
so,
yeah.
So,
But they were interested in
what were they interested?
But
What were they
their
for?
whole
who
thing
died,
is,
how did it happen?
Who
Did
we
this
do-
happen?
who we
Was it the
demonise?
fault? How many five people did that? Which is all safe, it's all good. But they were looking for this blame thing.
Right.
Who to blame? who
it's a
to blame.
story, isn't it? So they
Who to
sell
blame?
paper, sell
How did
things.
it go up? Is it the council's fault? Is it somebody else? This whole thing was a...
One thing we've always seen, and one thing we always say, in the worst of situations, you see the best of humanity.
Of course.
Right.
You'll see the worst of humanity and the best.
Yeah.
And we always see the best in humanity.
Alhamdulillah.
No matter, you will see a crisis, you'll see whatever going on.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, you'll see the best of humanity coming out to help, regardless. And I tell you, on that day, you just saw people just like, what? It was on a different level.
The best.
And it went on for days. It went for about 2-3 days.
Yeah.
You imagine Vakas. I'm just telling you a quick story about what Vakas told me. He was in Greece, or maybe he was with him. I don't know. He was every time we went out, we saw an old woman. She's from America.
Yeah. No. She was from she was from a European country somewhere.
Anyway, she was from somewhere. An old lady with a trolley.
Okay.
Every
Where was
day-
this? In Greece?
In Greece,
Greece,
where they were
okay.
walking.
Yeah.
And she's every day plodding along, doing something. So Vakas, when I spoke to her, we all speak to random people, but Vakas, when I spoke to her, he goes, I see you every day. What you doing, man? Like, with your trolley and all that. She goes, I'm kind of old. I've come from a long time. I've seen all of this happening, so I wanted to help. I'm retired. I wanted to come and help. So he goes, what are you doing? He goes, I've realised something. Every time the children and the people are coming off the boat, they've got no shoes and socks on. So I'm picking up all the sharp bits from the floor.
Wow.
You imagine telling me that? Oh, I'm crying.
You were crying.
I'm crying. I'll go, what are you talking about? You just think about that. Old woman with a trolley comes from miles of end, but wants to make a difference to the lives of these people that she ain't got a clue about, ain't the same religion, don't know them from Adam, but she wants to help.
Yeah.
So what she's doing? Picking up glass, picking up bottles.
Yeah, just sharp stones.
So they
anything.
don't hurt their feet. Vakas goes, you know how stupid I felt? Because we've done everything, but we had no footwear. So we learned something.
Yeah.
We are always about learning. Tell us how to improve ourselves.
Yeah.
Tell us how to... And he goes, Qasam Atiq. He goes, honestly, it hit my heart. I'll never forget that story because it's so overwhelming in your head thinking, wow, what a woman. What a Mother Teresa.
Absolutely.
What a Mother
Yeah,
Teresa.
absolutely. Yeah.
Look at that. That made a massive difference, man. We learned something.
You guys been all over the world, right?
Not all over the world, but we're in...
of course.
Where's the furthest you've been?
Again, we've been to Bangladesh. We've been across down.
Were you there when the
Malawi.
Myanmar thing was going on?
We sent Wakas and Munir and one
True,
time.
we've got links in over just under 100 countries.
Okay,
We've got links. So
fantastic.
if anything happens in 100 countries,
Yeah.
The Children team can
Yeah.
make a phone call and the work will be done.
Yeah. So have you had first-hand experience of what's happening in Myanmar?
Oh well, we've been to the Bangladesh camps. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Monatalik and Wakas and Munir was there with a couple of other guys.
Yeah.
So they've been there. We've been to Malawi. We've been down to
Pakistan.
obviously Pakistan. Yeah, all over Pakistan. We've been to
Yeah.
India. We were supposed to go to Nepal this year, but that's not happening at the moment. There's quite a few trips this year that have been cancelled. Jordan, Athens in Greece, as well as Lesbos.
But work was
So
we've got
we
connections
yeah, we've
with
got
partners
Right.
all over the world.
even helped out in the what was it?
Yemen crisis at the moment.
The
Doing that
hurricanes
as
in
well.
Haiti and that.
Yeah.
So even there,
Okay.
we helped out there as well.
Even
So
in the
yeah,
UK,
we've been,
even in the UK, hospitals, domestic violence. We've done things for mentoring, schools, anything.
if we can do whatever we can.
If we can save a life, or if we can talk to someone and make them realize that, hang on a minute, we can do something. You know, in your pain, even though you're going through some kind of a pain or some kind of a personal pain,
Yeah.
loss of a death, if you could use that as even do a little video, because look, if we like it or not, we have become the face of this charity. We've become, Allah's given us a platform. So we've chose to have a platform. We've chose to let people ask us questions about what we do, why we're doing it. We've chose people to pick out our faults which fair enough. My little cousin Ali passed away. I decided to do a little video that went viral. But out of that, you know, I've had a contact with a guy called Andrew, God bless his soul. He was going to commit suicide. But he said, that when I saw that, I could never see my 14-year-old kid cry like that, man. So he's doing it. So, you know, it's about how much you really want to save people.
Yeah.
Forget the limelight, forget the fame and all that, because our intention was never to be like that. Half of the work that we do, you won't even know about it. We help so many people. Nobody would ever know about some of the stuff that we do because we don't need to tell people.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But when you're taking money from people,
Yeah.
they've got every right to know where your money's going.
Where your money's
That's
going.
the reason it's on social media. That's the reason there's a text out. But if we're using our own money and helping people, that's between us and God.
So you must have come across other charities when you've been doing your work.
Yeah.
100%, of
Other,
course.
like NGOs and
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
and-
100%.
How-
But
how-
Children Adam is the best charity on the planet. Children Adam is the best charity on the planet. Children Adam is the best charity on the planet.
No, we come with everybody.
And how and do you? I mean, obviously there must be a common theme there. Yeah. So you,
Of course there
so you
is.
help each other. No,
Yeah,
Yes,
we've got
of
loads
course.
of partner
As long as
charities.
they're the same, they've got the same guidelines. as
Ethos.
us.
We have
Yeah.
to have the same sort of
So
ethos.
what kind of ethos do you mean?
Again, you know,
How
the
could-
Islamic
how could-
perspective. First, of all, the Islamic perspective. That, as
Okay.
you know, because Muslims, the guidelines that we adhere to.
Yeah.
You know, the money, how it's used, most importantly,
Right.
and where it goes. And look, if someone's giving us, you know, £100 for a particular project, I ain't gonna sort of like squander £80 of it somewhere else and give £20 to it. I want to make sure £100 goes there.
Have you seen first-hand examples of that happening?
What's that?
You know, charitable money being not obviously within your own
Nah,
charity, but
nah.
you know, other
I'll be
charities.
honest with you, we haven't got time
Because-
for it. We ain't got
because
time
you
to
hear- you hear those
You do
stories, right?
hear those stories.
You hear those
Look,
stories.
I've had people
Yeah.
come up to me before say, oh, brother, I want to start a charity.
Yeah.
And you think, yeah, of course we'll help you. Not a problem. You start charity. And they'll start talking about, you know, like how they can just like do this and do that. Nah, I'm the wrong person to ask now.
Yeah.
And you're better
Because
off
I'm-
not having a charity.
Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to help you there.
Yeah.
Because if your intention is that you've got to get £10 and you've got to keep 5 and then use 5, nah, I ain't helping you for nothing, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm more kind of talking, you know, charities that are, you know, so for example, you were saying that certain charities have to match your ethos, right?
Yeah.
So you've got other charities that are out there that have a different ethos. So you know what I'm talking
Look,
about.
there's a
right?
lot of big,
different.
I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of charities, a lot of big boys out there.
Yeah.
They won't give you time of day because they're busy doing their thing.
That's what I'm talking.
So they're doing their thing.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
They're already on their thing. They've got their little train working. They've got their system.
Okay.
They don't need help from anybody else.
So when they
We're-
see guys like you come along,
We're a very small fish in a big pond.
yeah,
But alhamdulillah, you know what it is? We've stuck out to our guns. Yeah? If we want to get something done, we'll get it done. If we can't get it done, we'll tell people, look, we can't do that because we can't get it done. Because it's pointless me saying to you, do you know what? Yeah, we can help that family in that country and that whatever. But if I've got nobody there that we trust, that we've not verified, that we've not gone and done the due diligence, etc., to say, yeah, this work can be done, we won't touch it.
right.
Do you know what? We can't do that, but you know what? We can still help there. Because we know we've got the avenue, we know the people, we know the workers, we know everything, we've got everything locked down.
That must be tough, right?
It's hard.
You know,
Look.
knowing who you can and who you can't trust.
It's hard.
It's
because
very hard.
The team, they work around the clock.
Look, there's
Honestly,
it's
it's tough.
look at any business.
Yeah.
Any business, whatever you do, business you're into, there's certain things you can pursue and think, yeah, I can get this done. And certain things you think, I could do that, but you know what? Nah, I'll stick to this. Because that's too much of a risk for me. It's the same with us. And the thing is, it's not us that are in risk, it's people's money that we're risking.
Exactly.
And we can't have that.
Yeah.
Don't take it.
We can't have that.
If you need fuel money, like when we first started thingy,
Yeah.
we sent a text out. We're short of fuel money. Can you give it to us? We
We
must have
start-
raised a couple of quid.
We used, to,
Don't
we,
lie.
used to, we used to have brothers, honestly, they literally used to donate
Yeah.
just so they can, because their whole thing was, look, if you're raising this money, but you can't get there, we'll help you get there.
Yeah.
Now we're helping you get there, we've just taken part in all that reward. Because we've got you there, we've got that
Yeah,
money there, we've got
absolutely.
whatever.
Never make a
So they
Absolutely, yeah.
they've seen the bigger picture. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like I'll get somebody else and say, oh brother, you know what, here's £10. I want all my £10 to go there. Okay, that's fine. I said, let me give you £10, you get it to there. Why do I do that?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, right, okay, so there's a system, it works. You have to give us the time. We don't, like I said, we don't make promises we can't fulfill. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, you know, if something comes to light, you know, or, you know, right, okay, we need to do this, or someone's come around, "Look, this is happening here, they need help. Okay, right, you two go over there, check it out first. go there, do the paperwork, see if it can be done.
Okay.
If it can't be done, fine, we'll come back. If
So-
it can be done, brilliant.
So do you ever come across like bureaucracy and you know?
Of course you do. It's
Of course
like,
you
it's,
do.
it's like anything.
If, before you see a project come alive,
Yeah.
believe you me, forget us, the amount of hard work that goes behind the scenes of paperwork for cars such to fly out, fly in, fly out, fly. They have to debate. We're in a position where us four will be sitting there.
Right.
All four of us have different opinions. We're there. Some of us are there for hours, just niggling about one little thing. But why is it? Because we want the best for that project. And then once it comes alive, trust me, that's a lot of hard work.
Just like, for example, look,
And it's easy for people to say, "Oh."
we've got now, in regards to trustees, there's 4 of us. Now we took on another 3 other guys.
Yeah.
One was a solicitor who, again, went his way afterwards because of his a personal work and that is just too much.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, that's fine. Thanks for your help. He still supports us when we need. We've got one guy who's an accountant who runs multi-million-pound accounts. So he's on it.
Big
Just
up.
don't give him a sum up to £200 because he gets lost.
Big up.
Yeah, fucking chief. And we've got another guy, who does auditing. So we got people guys from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
Different skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they bring it and we sit down and, when things are done, right, okay, can this be done? Yes, great. Every trustees meeting, I'll be honest with you, I sit there and I pinch myself thinking, are we really doing this? Is this? And this is years later.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting there, we're discussing something or somebody will happen across the world and thinking, how have we done that? And we just, sometimes we'll sit there and we'll gasp and we'll ponder. We're just thinking, I think we were sat in that car and we were just talking about this.
And then it
And
came to
now we're
fruition.
here, we're
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah,
How are we doing it?
What's the hardest thing? What do you think is the hardest thing about this?
To keep up with the demands at the moment.
hard.
Because it's growing so...
Why do you think it's growing?
Look, I'll be honest with you.
Because-
We get offers all the time that, we can make you take your charity to this, to this, to this. We say that we don't want it to be that.
Yeah.
Look, the difference with us is we know what's going on. Like any business, for example, you get somebody that starts out small and they naturally grow.
Yeah.
So you're in charge of it, you know what's going on. And as soon as it becomes this big entity, now you have no idea because there's managers, there's this.
Of course, yeah.
It's become something completely different.
Yeah.
We don't want it to be that.
Do you think you can retain that control?
Yeah, of course we will.
Inshallah,
Of course we will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
There'll be a time that even though we've started the charity, we founded it, we got it, that we'll have to step back because you can't keep it going all your life. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, Allah gives us the life that we can.
I mean.
But there'll be times that we might have to step back, and we've always even said the day it goes that way, we'll end it there and then. We'll finish it because
that authenticity, that
we don't want it to be something that we never wanted to.
yeah,
not to
because
be.
it has to be pure. But it's gonna grow. There's no doubt about it. But as far as we can manage it, we're doing the best that we can, and it's working. It's growing. And what Shabir said, he's got an event on Sunday. Their family are doing breakfast for Yemen up here and stuff. And he said, you know what? People like it because they know where their money's going, and they know the platform. They know Children of Adam. So no matter what people say about it, they always come back because it's a legitimate charity. It's registered, and you can knock on our door. Say, hang on a minute, I gave you 10. Where did it go? Our office is on Cromwell Road. Do you understand? Come and have a look where your money's gone.
Yeah.
Openly, my brother Sakim always says, tell us, ask us. Because it's there. It's your money. Come and ask us where your money is, and Bismillah will tell you where it's gone.
You guys are busy, right?
Very busy. I've looked all three. Today, we are at an event now. Whilst I'm here, I've took a little break to come here to do this. I'm going back till 12 o'clock at night. At
So
the
how
lounge.
do you balance your family lives? That must be hard.
In the morning, so as soon as
It must be hard.
All of us have got like a different timetable, but you pray to Allah and say, Allah, look, I'm doing the work, the goodness work, and trust me, you prioritize your time. You can. I've got my girls and my family in the mornings. My wife works, so I have my kids in the morning till 2 o'clock. Then I go to work. The weekends normally we only work a little bit until there's an event. I give my family time, so they're kind of happy. As long as you give them time, do a little bit of housework, a little bit of hoovering and stuff. Happy, man.
So you guys don't take a wage out of this, do you?
No,
You know what I mean?
I'm
This-
self-employed.
Exactly.
I've got my own business.
Exactly.
Sakib's got his own business. He does
I've
everything.
got houses. I've got a few.
So we all got our little
doing
things.
So like balancing that must be tough.
No, I mean it's just not. I love these doors. Look,
people always say,
look, I've got a full-time business, right?
Yeah.
I'm working that. We've got the charity side of it. We're doing that.
Yeah.
Boxing club, we're doing that. So it's just like constant.
Where do you find the time?
But it works.
Routine.
Because
it
we
self-managed in our houses.
Because certain things, it's like, okay, right, that's your deal. You deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing that. We'll do it. If we've got to take a trip aboard, right? What dates we got? Okay, I'll plan it beforehand. We'll deal with it. Unless it's like an emergency thing, right? Okay, you're available. You're available. Okay, you go.
Boom, jump on it.
So it's just one of those things. It just works, and that's and do you know what? Because that works, that's why it's happening.
Alhamdulillah.
And that's why we don't want to change anything, because it's the way it works is beautiful.
What about turning charities away? Do you ever turning demands away?
We have to.
Of course,
we have to.
Legitimate demands.
We have to, because if we can't fulfill it,
again, that must be tough.
It is. It's just like anything.
Honestly, we had to have a meeting. They go, look, you're not allowed to say yes no more. They used to get scared, because every time there was a thing in the mosque, Khalid used to look at Suja goes, God, he shouldn't have those thoughts. Like, let's do it. Yeah, we'll do it. We had to be called in the office and said, boys, you can't say yes to everything.
Yeah,
what are you not doing?
Exactly, yeah.
Because we had to learn. Now it's, sorry, I have to take it back to the board, discuss it, and then we will let you know. Because we can only, if we can deliver sincerely and 100% and save lives, we'll do it. If it's 99.9, we ain't doing it. Because we can't do it. And so just said, bro, what are you doing, bruv? I said, so what you took on? You know, we'll have a little giggle and whatever, but in real terms, there's not enough time. We want to save the world. We can't. But we can save the world by taking a little project at a time, and saving people like this.
It's like we always say, look, for example, you save one orphan.
Yeah.
Okay? You save that one orphan, you saved a generation. Because people don't think that. People think, oh, I've just helped that young kid. I've helped that. No, you've not. You saved a generation. Because that orphan will get married. He'll have his children, have children. So your work is not just with that one child. It's now, as he's grown up, and whatever comes after, you've paved the way for that. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way we see it. Okay, you're one orphan at a time.
It's big.
One family at a time, one widow at a time. And you do that properly, and everything else just falls into place.
So what advice would you give somebody who wants to start up?
And you know what the best thing about this is?
Go on.
We never ask for big money. We never ever ask for big money.
What do you mean never ask for big money?
So we don't go to an individual and say, oh, by the way, we've got a project, give us 5 grand, give us 10 grand, mate. So I know you got money. We never look at that. We know, even if you see people have got money, you don't know their circumstances. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know if they're driving a car, if it's theirs. We don't do that. All we say, give us the tenner, give us 20 quid. A project, orphans. If you can't pay £365, do it through your account. Give it this much money. You start small, you will get that project done and dusted with, and never ever push it upon people. My friends and my family, they're going to get it because they're my boys. 100% they're going to get it. But that's my own way, my relationship with them. Yeah. But overall, nothing is expensive. You want to plant a tree, we're going to be doing that soon, tenner. You want to do this, fiver, tenner, 15. Don't go mad. The money will come. Look at the food. We do food parcels, yeah? Fiver.
Yeah.
You put it out, within a week they're gone. 100 meals have gone. We just started this breakfast thing, and we started, should we do 20 meals? We're already on 100. They go, because people will love to give you a fiver. At that fiver, you don't know how many lives you're saving. That's the beauty of this charity. We're not putting it on you, say, give us a grand, give us No, if you want to give it, give it.
And like you were saying to your question about, if anybody else wants to look into do something like this, do it.
Do it.
But where do they start? How do you practically start?
Start by helping somebody. Looking within family.
First and foremost, you have to be sincere.
I mean,
if it's something like, you know what, I'll do this and I'm going to make a little raise, like I said, you don't bother.
Don't do it.
If you're going to do it because you know what, I can help. Because we've seen people come and go. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
We've seen people come and go that have just done this and done that. And then there's a boys outing and all of it. Nah, it ain't that. Do you know what I mean? And if it's going to be sincere, and then, you know what, I'll open the doors. I'll be honest with you. Because we don't even know how we got here.
And if you want to do it sincerely and you want to test yourself, do it for a year and don't tell nobody about it. Just go and help people. Go into town. If you want to help a homeless, there's loads of them. You want to go and do a toy drop at the hospital? Knock on their door, give them toys. Also, look within your family. If you know your family, meaning family, your whole family, see who's got issues. Go and speak to them. If 2 brothers are not talking, get them to make up. That's charity within itself. Charity doesn't mean there's a calamity, there's an earthquake, let's go and do it. No. Help your neighbour, man. Did you grass and you cut it, mate? Yeah, go on then. Go cut his grass. But don't put it on social. If you want to be sincere, do them kind of things, and then if you pass that test, only you will know. Then take it a step forward because we're always ready to help you. You want to come and set up your own place? Bismillah will help you, because there's more charities there's more lives that are being saved. There's no charity wars here. People want to, but they'll fail miserably because we're not even in competition. We're not in no competition. As I said, in Vic's boxing gym, Vic owns a boxing gym. He can call any charity. He knows so many people. He always calls Suja. He's got a very good relationship with him. Come to our charity thingy. He gives us the mic and he lets us speak to everybody. And I said it then and I said it now. Children of Adam is the best charity on the planet.
Well, if Children of Adam is the best charity on the planet,
There ain't no competition.
What if people want to join you?
They can. If they go to the website and it says on there, volunteers.
Well, I can bring the website up here.
Go to the website.
There we go.
Yeah,
There's
so
the website.
with volunteers
There's
and
the
that,
website.
again, there's checks.
There's
So you've got
there's
quick
a donation.
donate.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between, you've got here donate sadaqah and donate zakah?
Sadaqah is your general,
Okay.
more like a general donation.
Yeah.
And, as Muslims, sadaqah is something we give
Yeah.
that it saves you from a calamity.
Okay.
And we always sort of recommend everybody just do, even at home, you got a little empty jar, put something on, call it the sadaqah jar. Put
Okay.
a penny, 2 pennies, any loose change every day.
Yeah.
Save yourself and family from calamity. Zakah, like we discussed earlier, is your obligatory charity that you've got to give if you're of a certain,
Yeah. Okay.
you have a certain amount of money.
And there's an eligibility who can have that as well.
Yeah. And even with zakat, then who can
Yeah.
have that? They have to be below a certain poverty line.
Yeah. And what about people that are non-Muslim here? Yeah, because obviously it's Children of Adam, so it is helping Muslim communities around the world for sure, right? But what about
Muslims. Look, that's what
Let's
we got.
make that clear.
That's why we got
Everybody.
again. Look, the toy drop in the hospital. We've
Yeah.
Yeah.
be honest here with the Citizens Advice Bureau. We've helped out there with with people that can help.
Yeah.
With staffing to help people there.
What was that
there's
lady
loads.
called whose house got burnt down? She had nothing.
Mandy.
Mandy's house got burnt down.
This lady,
We
her
waited a
house got
little
burnt
bit to see who would help her.
Yeah.
Zilch, we did. The children, the Muslim community got together, gave her everything. Which was Ibrahim. I'll go. Suja goes, "What do you want, Mandy?" She goes, "I'd love to have a meal with my family," because she's had about a few kids, loads of kids, and she goes, "I haven't seen my kids because one's around the sisters, one's there. Please, went to Ibrahimis. Allah bless Ibrahimis. They never even charged them. See the family eating their meals. We've organised that.
Fantastic.
Religion
Yeah,
does
we
not
don't-
come into it. Religion
look,
is for us, for
Again,
me.
look, the Prophet said, help, look after your neighbours. Did it say Muslim neighbours?
Look after your neighbours, not
Exactly.
look after your Muslim neighbour.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so our neighbours are everybody.
Exactly. Yeah,
Everybody.
Exactly.
I live in a village,
And
man.
that's,
Come
and,
on,
that, and, that's,
Bridgie.
and, that's, and, that's, and that's our thing.
I live in Warrington village, man. I live in a village.
And that's, like I said, and that's Children of Adam.
Imagine me
Just
coming out
everything.
every morning.
And that's one of the reasons that we chose the name Children of Adam.
Yeah.
That we all are children of the Prophet Adam. Peace
Yeah.
and blessings be upon him. So we can't.
And talking
Discriminate.
about this, I live in a village, and whenever there's a drama like on the news, terrorists, whatever, this and the other,
Yeah.
I get my neighbours knocking on my door. Are you right? Yeah, that's what happened. Don't worry about what they said in the news. I said, it wasn't me. What are you talking about? It's okay. We love you, T. And it's so nice because honestly, because I've been there for 15 years. And it's kind of like, it's beautiful, man, with the way people are.
Yeah.
But you just have to accept the way the things are. It's so nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's a wonderful place to finish it up, guys.
Perfect.
So people can go to your website if they want
childrenofadam.net.
to childrenofadam.net
Yep.
to donate in any way, shape, or form. You've said, but with open arms, if they want to help, they can help.
Of course.
Yeah,
Look,
they're more than welcome. Doesn't matter creed, color, religion, race, whatever, whoever.
if you've got the ability to help, forget the money,
Yeah.
and you want to change your life,
Yeah.
think about a project that you want to do. Bring it on the table. We'll discuss it, and if we can help you make that project active, we're gonna go all the way through and make that active for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please support your local charity. Thank you very much for having us. I know this is your first interview. Many more to come. But nobody's going to beat this interview, I tell you now.
I'll be back anyway. I'll be back. We'll be discussing other things soon.
Yeah.
But also, I've got to thank K2. K2K for sponsoring this as well today.
Yeah,
because
K2, big up to K2, and
yeah.
also for the facilities here.
Yeah.
You know, for the brothers I've set this
So
up.
look, I think one thing to finish off with, right, is we've spoken about the youth, yeah, and that's what a lot of this is about. It's about the younger generation. What are your messages, yeah, individually?
Fix
what
up,
are your
innit?
messages? What are
Fix
your
up.
messages for the youth?
Fix up.
What do you mean? Fix up?
Kindness, positive
Nah, but
vibes.
it's- look, don't-
positive vibes, kindness, and you know what? Look within yourself and become the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Positivity,
Look,
kindness.
one of the biggest things is, and we have to remember this, there's no such thing as quick money. There is no such thing.
Yeah, so right. Man.
And you know, people look at that, the gangster life, innit? The G life. Look at those very same people that you're trying to emulate. Look how long they live. There ain't no friends in this game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This game is like, it's, you think they're your friends, the first time you know, you're not good to them, boom, you're done. What a life.
That's
Get
right.
that, man.
Allah protect everybody, man.
I mean,
Ya Rab.
that's good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Allah
Cheers,
bless
Cam.
you. Assalamu alaikum.
Lovely job.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Big up. Big up.
The Waris Effect.